Evcall.
Words by C. Edward Selner.
What do you do when they stop coming? Wind's cold tonight, but feels good. View is as good as ever. The roof, it's where I go when I hit a block. Been up a lot lately. I can almost see the whole city of London from here. Over to the west there, the St. Paul's Cathedral. To the east is the Sky Garden. And if you look really hard, you can barely see Guildhall to the north and London Bridge back south. It's a beautiful city, with shiny glass skyscrapers that look down over medieval alleyways. I always liked the balance. Glimpses of where we'd been and the feet of where we're going. Bloody poetic. But what I love the most is watching the traffic from here, especially at night. Buses, cars, trucks, all flowing into one another, all making their way along the streets and highways, always going somewhere I imagine far more glamorous than here. Unlike me, furthest I've been in the last 20 years is Stratford, at least for real. In my imagination, my mind, that's different. Been deep in people's heads, to almost every nation on the planet. Deep in the oceans and even beyond the stars. Now I think my mind's settled too. Stuck here with my body in the city of London. Poor sod. Kind of strange, but I think part of me always knew this was going to happen. I've been dreading it since that thing. The words stopped coming. Without them, how can I be a writer?
Stan Kowalski, 13 novels and 23 short stories under his belt. Ends career.
I just let the wind blow. Finally, I give up and head down to the El Rancho.
Flip it over like that, turn it around. No, that's too much. That's all right. Set that down there. Turn it over. No, don't flip it so much. Hey, Stan! How goes the book?
That's Joe. Ain't.
Problems?
I hear the concern in his voice. But was it for me? Or was it for this joint's prime attraction? Hey, trust me, it sure as hell ain't the cooking. I'm the headliner for this place. The biggest draw. If I was washed up, so might be the old El Rancho.
You could say that. Words quit.
He stares down a sec, and then shrugs.
It's him. It's really him. He does come here.
What did he just say?
All right, folks. Yes, it's me, Stan Kowalski. And yes, I often frequent the amazing El Rancho. But tonight I'm just looking for food and coffee. So if you could leave me be, thanks.
Sounds like someone had a rough day at the keyboard.
Not much keyboard involved today.
That's Lisa, the real reason I regularly frequent this place. She waited on me the first time I came in here to try the food. Food wasn't worth coming back for. She certainly was.
Stan, what's going on? You've been acting like someone died for almost a week now.
We flirted that first time, and I enjoyed it so much. I kept coming back, despite the food. We kept going from there to practically engaged.
I think someone did. On the inside.
That's not funny, Stan.
Sorry, Elise. It's just hard to explain.
Now what the bleep was that?
Joe censors himself for the public good.
You can't bleep and waltz in like you own the bleep joint and bleep tell my bleep customers to bleep off, you bleeper bleep.
Sorry, Joe. It's just been a bleeping of a day.
Lisa told me. What you got, writer's block or some bleep?
If you've ever been a writer, or, I don't know, any kind of artist, and tried to explain the process to folks wholly unversed in it, you know it's a royal pain. They don't speak the language. They don't understand the zone, the flow, the place where ideas come from. It's almost impossible to put into words, even for a writer. Now imagine trying to explain that it stopped working.
You just gotta throw a couple more eggs on the grill and keep flipping, you know?
Oh my God. Shoot me. Someone shoot me now. Joe, best thing you can do for me right now is to go and cook my usual steak and hash.
And try not to overcook it for once in your life.
Yeah, whatever. Lisa, you're on break. Do something with this jamoke, will you?
I'm pretty sure I'm in love with this woman. She may even be the love of my life. Me, a major successful writer, meets a down-on-her-luck single mom working double shifts in a greasy diner, and it's love at first flirt. You would think she would be my muse to inspire me to greater heights. And yet...
Seriously, Stan, what's going on? I'm concerned. You've been acting really down. Distracted.
Come stay with me tonight.
I can't. I've got the kiddo tonight. You know that.
Then I'll come to your place.
Look, I don't think I'm ready for Nicky to know we're,
having sex. He's nearly 13. He knows we're together. He's probably figured it out.
You're changing the subject. What's going on with you?
We've had this conversation, Lise. I don't know. It's just the writing. It seems out of reach. I can't get a handle on it anymore.
Oh, I don't understand. How can it just stop working?
See what I mean?
Let's not do this here, okay? I'm sorry, that's what's bothering me, and for me, it's a big thing, and truthfully, I don't understand it either. If I did, I might actually be able to do something about it instead of feeling completely helpless right now, okay? I just need some time.
Okay. I'm sorry you're going through a spell. Let me know if I can do anything, yeah?
I absolutely will. Tomorrow night?
Yeah. Promise.
I hurt her. I hurt her because this isn't something I can let her in on. It's not something she can soothe away, or we can talk out, and she knows it's eating me up, and all I'm doing is pulling away because of it. At least no one bothers me. The coffee is good. The steak is undercooked. Who cares? I eat up, drink another cup while watching the normal people come and go, then pay my tab and head out. Of course, it's raining. Nice. I used to love walking in the rain. Some of my best ideas came to me while getting drenched. Now, nothing. All I'm doing is getting wet and cold. I finally get back to my flat, crank up the heat, slug back a couple of shots, and sit down for another valiant attempt. When I was just getting started in this biz, I used to love a blank page in the typewriter. Yeah, I'm that bloody old. And later, that blank screen. Both always meant endless potential. Literally, anything could fill it. Unicorns and fairies dancing in the woods, alien ships swooping over the sands of Mars, dark, slithering things in the sewers of New York City. Hey, it's New York. If any city has dark, slithering things. But now that screen is my worst enemy. It's far worse than a blank page refusing to be filled. When I hit blocks before, that page would just kind of sit there, laying in the carriage. But now that screen stares back at me, facing right at me. A baleful, glaring light burning my eyes. All those bloody buttons in Word, listing all the many things I could do if I could actually type something that made sense. It also doesn't give you the same release. Those few times I hit blocks back in the day, it was bloody satisfying to rip that page out, ball it up, and toss it. Not the same effect when you hit that red X. It's bloody anticlimactic. At least there's no wastebasket full of crumpled papers reminding you of just how many times you tried and quit, which is what I finally do after a couple hours. Sleep doesn't come easy.
Oh, hey, Stan. How's the man?
Ugh,
Great to hear. Hey, can you hand me that tomato?
that's Barb Stickler, my editor for That Thing. I look where she's pointing, finding a mayoed slice of tomato lying on the floor. I wince, already knowing how this plays out. I pinch and gingerly pick the thing up, holding it as far away from me as possible as I hand it to her.
Oh, thanks. They got these new to flip and go burgers, down at the pub. You get the thing in two halves. One part the top bun and fixins, the other part the bottom and the patty. Supposed to keep the fixins from getting all hot and gooey, I guess.
She plops the tomato right back into the sandwich, like it never left.
No, I just end up lobbing stuff all over the place, putting it together. Oh, hey, read your last published short story last night. What was it again? Oh, yeah, the kid that's something the world.
The boy who would save the world. Yeah, the last story that worked for me.
Oh, yeah, freaky. So, where's the stuff?
Got me.
Oh, you're a joke, right?
Nope.
What do you mean?
I mean, I don't have it.
Why don't you have it?
Never came.
Came from where?
I tap my head. Here.
Well,
I'm working on it.
I'd like to work on it too.
When it gets here, you'll be the first to know.
You are an editor's delight, I hope you know. The boss will kill us both.
Nah, he'll just fire me.
Is that what you want?
Lady, none of this has anything to do with what I want. Trust me. So, that thing. It's a comic book series. Pays the rent. Oh hell, it's a lifetime dream. See, about 5 years ago, I came up with this fantastic idea for a book. But it kept growing till I realized it would be a trilogy, then a series at the least. This world, this story, it had everything. Heroes and villains, fantastic creatures, incredible worlds. I could see them in my mind's eye, clear as I'm seeing St. Paul's Cathedral right now. But it also had so much more. I try not to be heavy-handed in my writing, It's always first and foremost about the story, entertaining the reader. I always wanted folks who plunked down hard-earned cash for something I wrote to feel like they genuinely got their money's worth. But I also wanted my stories to be stories that mattered, made people think, challenged them. Every once in a while, maybe even inspiring a few here and there. I know, that sounds a bit egotistical, but at the end of the day, I think most storytellers want that at least some of the time. We want some kind of legacy our stories leave behind, some way that what we put into words made a difference. Maybe something that would give people something even to aspire to. When I was a kid, it was comics that did that for me. Larger-than-life heroes and heroines who always put it on the line to help others. Super powerful people that could have ruled the world, who chose instead to help people, because that was what mattered. None of them ever expecting anything in return. That was always what made them the hero or the heroine. Not the flashy costume or powers, but the good in them that they shared with the world. I got a little older. It was science fiction that started inspiring me more. Especially the ones that gave us hope that us lowly human beings would someday finally figure things out and become better people who build a better world. And that's what this thing was going to be. My crowning work. It just felt like it had it all. It was about redemption and self-sacrifice, lifting others up, contributing to the whole, reaching for that better world. When I started writing it, it was a profound experience for me. Sometimes as writers, we write to crank things out, hit deadlines, make it work. Other times, we get in a zone where it just flows, and it's like we can't type fast enough. I swear to God, it's like we're channeling some higher power, and the story we're telling becomes more than we could ever hope. Those times when we're writing and we laugh, we cry, we feel chills running down our spine. When we have characters in danger and we type faster just so we can get them safe again. When we know a scene is going to end with losing one of those beloved characters. And each keystroke feels like we're driving nails in the coffin of our best friend. This was all of that. And so much more. So I went back to my source. I pitched it as a comic series with the biggest comic publisher out there. They never published creator-owned books, never published series outside their own universe. But my rep got me a meeting with their editor-in-chief. He read the pitch, called it a game changer, offered me everything I wanted. Easiest sale I ever made in 15 years. I was asked who I wanted to draw it. I jokingly asked for the hands-down best artist in the business. 2 days later, I was told she said yes. Oh man, the art that started coming in. The sketches, the character designs, the roughs for the first issue. They made me cry tears of joy. They were everything I hoped for, only 10 times better. It finally hit me. This is it. This is happening. This would be the thing my name was forever part of. And I would be humbled but proud to let it stand as my legacy. My contribution to the world. Then they stopped. And I don't know why. Did I get too full of myself? Did I build this magnum opus of mine into something too big for me, that now I feel like I can't pull it off? Does this just prove I've been faking it all these years? I'm good with cranking to deadlines. I'm good with the standard good entertainment, but not meant to touch something higher with my work? Or maybe I'm not digging deep enough. Maybe what I'm losing is that little kid inside me that believed. Can we really create work that looks to a better future and hope to help inspire one if we don't genuinely believe we can get there? I look at the world today, the hatred, the division, the sad little man still clinging to a world whose time should have been done decades ago, and for a while looked like it was in its last throes. But now it feels like they got the rest of us in a noose and tighten it just a bit more every day. Look at stories today. What are the most popular? Post-apocalyptic, end-of-the-world stuff. Zombies, plagues, aliens, or the machines wiping us out. And yeah, guilty, I've written a few of those. But when did we start believing that that's our future, and somehow that's okay? When did we stop believing in flying cars and boldly going? When did we lose sight of truth and justice, and that with great power comes great responsibility? When did we? When did I? Because that's it, isn't it? I stopped believing we could be more than we are, that we could be better. I go back to watching the traffic. Thousands of people pass below. I think about how much they're like a story, each one living their own tale. Some comedies, some dramas, most a generous mix, most with unhappy endings, where inevitably the world lets them down as less than what they had hoped. I don't think any of them are heading anywhere more glamorous anymore.
You coming down, Stan?
Just a sec, please. The cars make me think of the words, flowing free until they begin to join up, each with another, all linking into a new whole, each adding to the rhythm. Words, like dreams, hopes, all going somewhere else. Maybe they're still out there somewhere, still flowing, still beating out that rhythm, lining up and lifting up. Maybe even still inspiring someone out there, just like that traffic. They just aren't mine anymore.
This was an Evcol Entertainment Clockwork Digital Studios original production, a part of the On Another Wavelength audio anthology series, featuring the voice talents of Samantha Boffin, Michelle Campbell-Jones, Mitch Howell, and Chris Machari. Written by C. Edward Selner, directed and produced by Simon James Collier, series created and co-produced by Adam Deschanel. Soundscape design, Zachary Elliott Hatton.
Evcol.
The Little Things by C. Edward Selner.
The year is 2367, and humanity has spread to the stars. Dozens of orbiting stations, hundreds of ships and colonies scattered throughout the solar system and beyond have given humanity an edge into the broader galaxy. Then, in the span of a single moment, Earth is lost forever. Suddenly, that edge is now all humanity has to cling to for survival as a species. Faster-than-light scout ships with minimal crews seek out viable worlds to establish long-term, self-sustaining colonies. The rest of humankind sleeps in cryogenic stasis aboard vast colony ships that will require decades, even centuries, to reach their new homes. This was the beginning of the great human diaspora.
Stick's dead! I've lost all control! We're coming in way too hot! Crooko, what do you got back there?
Blazes if I know, Strickland. The engine's going critical. Safety's failing. It's as if the entire system just crashed. Drive failsafe's collapsing. Containment overrides down. We've got an intermix chamber bleed and no way to reroute.
English!
We're about 3 minutes from becoming a small sun.
Warning.
Well, I got good news on that 3-minute deadline to blow up. We're gonna crash in two. Get in the life pod. Abandon shit.
Warning. Launching life pod. Launching life pod. Launching life pod.
My God. I didn't honestly expect that to work. I can't believe we're alive.
Those life pods are reinforced titanium alloy, and the inertia gel is rated for hypersonic...
No one cares. We're alive. That's what matters.
You boy? You alright?
I think so. I'm sorry, sir. This is my first deep space mission.
As you've apologized for many times, if it's any consolation, this is my first deep space crash landing.
Well, you did pretty solid by it, Strickland. I don't know how you managed to keep us from going into a spiral when we hit atmosphere, but the fact that you kept the ship upright is the only reason the life pod port wasn't aiming us straight into rock.
Just doing my job. Wait a second. Ah, shit! Get down! Is everyone intact?
I'm shaken, Captain, but good. No leaks.
Me too. Thank you, sir.
Good thing, as I'm not picking up any oxygen in scans. Not even residual traces. Hydrogen over 70%. Trace stuff for the rest. Argon, methane.
Our engines, exposed to the rich hydrogen. That was a fusion meltdown. We're lucky this half of the planet still exists.
Guys, we're not alone.
Well, we're officially screwed. There's not going to be anything salvageable from the ship. Not after that.
All we've got to breathe is the oxygen in our EVA suits. For what? 12 hours?
And this planet won't be any help. It's not a carbon-based ecosystem.
Comm system on. Open mission log file.
Recording.
I know that no one will probably ever hear this. We've crashed on a strange alien world, but somehow miraculously survived. The ship is gone. Lost. With it, any chance of our survival. Focus your bow. Do the job. The ground is covered in crystals, like sparkling gravel. There are larger crystal constructs like pillars or pylons. Scans show the planet is largely a silicone-based ecosystem with a non-breathable atmosphere, and yet there is life here.
There's gotta be something we can do. Maybe some underground.
Strick, you're a great stick jockey, but you're not hearing me. The entire element composition on this planet is diametrically opposed to our own. Everything here is basically lethal to us.
Alien beings like nothing I've ever seen. Like no one has ever seen. How can they live here? We didn't think it possible. It's not possible, but... Oh, come on, girl. Pull yourself together. The aliens are insect-like, walking upright, though, on two legs. They look, they look kind of like grasshopper legs, but their arms are more like segmented tentacles with three-pronged claws at the end, and their whole body is covered in a carapace, a shell. They have large heads with large, multifaceted eyes, like a fly.
What about from the suits, the power packs? Can we rig something up?
To do what exactly? Terraform the planet? Pull basic elements out of our asses?
Hard to tell. They seem primitive, but who knows? We didn't have time to scan the surface before. They emit an almost trilling-like sound, but it doesn't seem complex enough for language. One is carrying some kind of staff. There are several of them. A couple are quite a bit smaller than the others. Children, maybe. They seem pretty curious about us. I guess they want to know who literally crashed their party. Hello there.
I think we have a bigger problem. The signal beacon probe for the colony ship deployed before we crashed. It's signaling to direct the nearest colony ship here.
What? How? Kruka, what happened?
I don't know. I still have no clue what happened to the ship. It all happened so fast.
Damn. Those colony ships use remote piloting systems. Once they lock onto a signal beacon, it's pretty much a one-way trip. There are thousands of colonists in cryo on each one of those ships. And if they expend their fuel getting here...
Hey, Ebola, where are you going?
To do my job.
Oh, hey, ask them if they've got an oxysynthesizer or protein sequencer handy.
Do you think
That it's likely a bunch of big bugs have the means to create food and atmosphere that just happens to be compatible with a totally alien organism, unlike any they've likely ever encountered?
That's a no, right?
One of the smaller ones. Seems curiosity is getting the better of it. It's coming toward me, meeting me halfway. Easy now. I'm not going to hurt you. Hey there. Aren't you odd?
What about the beacon? Maybe we can change the signal to an SOS.
For who? Colony cryoships are a century out. They're going to be a little late.
and the other FTL scout ships are spread too far to pick up the signal? Actually, now that I think about it, it doesn't matter anyway. The probes use a basic subspace pulse. It can't communicate more than a repeating signal. We can't even alter it enough to warn the colony ship off.
We have all the data and programming for terraforming on the hand comms we have with us. Could we bring the beacon down and rig something with it?
You really don't appreciate the complexity of the terraforming rigs we had, do you?
But the beacon does have compressed O2 tanks for maneuvering in orbit. Those we could maybe rig to the EVA suits. Give us more time to figure out the rest.
Can we override it? Make a controlled descent on the hand comm?
Neither the probe or the handcom was designed for that. But maybe...
The little one is very curious. It's come right up to me, while all the others are hanging back. Like a little kid, even trying to climb into my lap as soon as I sat down. If I could only make you understand that we're from very far away, but don't mean you any harm. Yeah, I get you figured it out, but your friends there, they don't seem convinced. That strange sound you make can't be a language, can it? All of you make it almost all the time, like crickets. No variations. I don't see any of your friends looking at one another or passing on messages. No signs of it being any kind of verbal communication. You haven't made any other sounds that could be spoken language. But you folks do like to touch each other a lot. Those long tentacles, all of you, keep reaching out to the others closest to you and... Wait, they're scared. Well, of course you are. You have no idea what to make of us, do you?
Oxygen levels 83%. Time remaining 10 hours.
Come on. I've got the signal at max. Show me something. Anything.
It's not going to work. The hand comms weren't designed for long-range signals, and the probe is way out of range for them.
Can we link each of our comms? Boost the signal.
That could work. Hand them over.
Well, little one, I think I've won over your friends. They all seem much more relaxed. Either I've convinced them I genuinely mean no harm, or maybe they just don't think I'm capable of it. All my life, I've dreamed about making a first contact. I was trained to know it would be a long and challenging process, possibly years, to be able to effectively communicate with an alien species. Now, here you are, and I've got just under 10 hours left to live. How do I explain everything I need to now? Especially when it doesn't even seem like you even have a language.
Oxygen levels 49%. Time remaining 6 hours.
Yes! I've got a signal lock. The handcom is reaching the probe. Now I've just got to establish a control uplink to make it land. We're going to do this!
Oh yeah, man. Air on that thing should last us days.
We can figure something out by then.
I wish there was some way, any way I could ask for your help. Not that I have any clue what you could do, even if I could. I don't even know if you're people, your species. I don't even know if your species is sentient. And even if you were, well, we're almost out of time. We're going to die here. Well, the guys won't accept it. They keep trying, but really, if it's a few more hours, a few more days, it's still going to end the same way. We're going to die and be lost on this alien world, and then all those people, the closest colony ship, which has probably already received the probe signal through subspace, it's going to get here, low on fuel and power, and thousands of people, men, women and children, they're going to be marooned here as well. It will be all our fault. We were supposed to save the human race, not kill thousands of the few survivors left. You all went silent, like you understand. And my little friend here, wrapping me in your tentacles, resting your head against my faceplate. Are you trying to comfort me, little one?
Oxygen levels 4%. Time remaining 30 minutes.
Hey, what are you doing, Kruko? Why did you shut down the signal?
It's not working.
You don't just give up. Turn it back on. Keep trying.
It's not working because the probe is hack-proof. It was designed for one simple purpose: to be launched and send a beacon signal. We can't modulate the signal. We can't hack into its guidance system and redirect it. We can't make it land. It probably wouldn't even survive the landing if we could.
All moot. Even if we made it work at this point, we'd be talking hours to get it down. Hours we don't have.
You haven't left me. None of you. All this time you've stayed with me. Especially you, little one. You keep bumping your head against my helmet. Keep trying to touch me, like all of you keep touching each other. I'm sorry. I can't, little one. But if I take off my helmet... Wait. Maybe there's something to that. Maybe that's how you communicate, like some form of touch telepathy. Maybe. Well, I'm gonna die anyway, so... Maybe. This is my last chance. When I take off this helmet, little one, I'll only have a few seconds until I die. But let me die. Trying. Let me kiss you once on that forehead of yours, little one. Just once. Thank you. See ya.
So alike, but so different. Facing their end, three struggled in vain for their own survival. One reached out in hope for the survival of those yet to come. So different, but so alike. Yaboa, daughter, mother, lover, friend, desiring touch and love. This we knew, this we understood, a gulf light years apart, yet as nothing. A mother's love for her children, a woman's love for the brothers and sisters of her kind. These little things, she called them. Knowing them, touching them, how could we not honor them? How could we not save them?
I know I'm still groggy from 100 years in cryo, but I don't get it. The scout ships were supposed to choose more compatible and uninhabited planets, ones like Earth, or close enough for terraforming in the time it took us to get here. But this planet? Totally alien to us. A silicon-based ecosystem and hydrogen-based atmosphere, totally lethal to humans. And there's clearly an advanced species living on the planet. We scanned sprawling cities of crystal towers all over the surface when we entered orbit.
Aye, you don't have to tell me, man. I did the preliminary sensor sweeps once we all woke up, but you can't deny it. There is a massive 1,000-mile radius biodome on the southern continent that is reading 100% Earth-like atmosphere within. It's unique. Nothing else like it on the planet, and it just happens to be big enough to accommodate our 2,500 colonists with plenty of room to spare.
Yeah, but our technology isn't even close to creating something like that. The raw materials, the crystalline dome itself, and it's already filled with Earth-like plants, including edible crops and fresh water, which is just...
I know, but it's sending the same signal as the beacon probe, making it obvious. And at this point, it's all we've got. We were running on fumes to establish orbit with the colony ship. All we've got now are these shuttles to taxi back and forth. And landing bays at the edge of that dome, configured just for them. So, I guess we're going to find out.
Hello. Who are you? I am Sia. She called Yaboa, told me so much of all of you. So we welcome you to Namita, your new home, that we prepared just for you, little one.
This was an Evcol Entertainment Clockwork Digital Studios original production, a part of the On Another Wavelength audio anthology series, featuring the voice talents of Samantha Boffin, Michelle Campbell-Jones, Mitch Howell, Chris Machari, and Mark Stewart. Written by C. Edward Selner. Directed and produced by Simon James Collier. Series created and co-produced by Adam Deschanel. Soundscape design, Zachary Elliott Hatton.
Evcol.
Harmony in Green by C. Edward Selner.
I was born into my world the same as any other, gestated in one of the breeding pods of the great creche. Birthed from the amniotic matrix of those pods, then taken in by the parents chosen for me.
Look at our beautiful baby boy.
Welcome into the world, little Joel Alexei.
He's perfect. Such a rich emerald color to his skin, those gently tapering ears. Oh, let's let the nurse cut his umbilical vine.
All right, students, calm down now. Class is about to begin. Today, we will be learning about the composers and masters of the Fourth Age of Harmony.
And, like any other, I was raised amongst my creche siblings. My genetic brothers and sisters, all born of the same harvest. Like them, I was trained in the history and mastery of the great art. For it is the music that shapes our very world in every way. And that was where I found myself different from the others.
Joel, that was perfection. How did you master the piece so quickly?
I just played it the way I felt it should be played. And so it went throughout my childhood, from class to apprenticeship to higher studies. The music seemed to come alive within me, and there was no composition I could not master with a glance. No original piece I could not play perfected at a whim. It was as if the music lived within me. Then came a day that forever changed my life.
The boy Joel is clearly an intuitive musical savant.
Forgive me, Chancellor Kakani, I don't quite know what you mean.
You are the one we have waited for untold generations to be born. Millennia ago, when the founders from Earth arrived in their massive ships to colonize this world, they were amazed to find that the pervasive and exotic plant life on it could be shaped by music.
Indeed, infinitely so, such that they eventually built their entire civilization upon that ability. Every aspect of our society is given shape by the native flora. It's why we came to call our living city, then the world itself, Harmony.
I know our history, Chancellor. I have studied it since I was a child.
Be respectful of the Chancellor, my son. He will explain.
Forgive my impatience, Chancellor. What has all that to do with me?
In the distant past, children were conceived and born from within their mother's womb. They would be gestated until birth within that womb, but the process was fraught with peril. It often led to biological defects within the child, health risks for mother and child, even at times death for one or both. Further, conception was random, often occurring in those who did not wish for children or who were ill-prepared to care for them.
Yes. So it was that centuries ago, we sought to perfect the process. That led to the breeding pods of the Great Creche, plants capable of conceiving and carrying to term human-plant hybrid children. The breeding pods mix human genetic material with specific plant strains to create fertilized eggs, which are then gestated from embryo to viable offspring.
And we can control every step of the process, carefully weeding out genetic defects, compensating for imbalances. We can carefully select genetic traits in each harvest, gifting the offspring with certain inherent gifts and talents. And all of that careful genetic engineering and breeding we have done over the centuries has been to one ultimate purpose: to one day breed a true master of music, an intuitive, able to shape the world at his merest whim, one who could sense the music needed to direct the native flora of this world to do as they wish, and that we have accomplished in you. You are the one. You shall become the master of our world.
Those words weighed upon me, haunted me for weeks up to the night of my first solo public performance at our largest concert hall. How can you say that, Mother? It means everything. What they expect of me, what they want from me. The pressure on me to be something I'm not sure I want.
You will do great things in this life, my son. You will be all you wish to be and so much more. Perhaps, even one day, you shall indeed rule this world we have made our own. Perhaps not. But today is about the great art. Today, it is about the music.
Yes, Joel. You should know by now to listen to the wisdom of your mother. It's a lesson I learned long before you were born. Life often presents us challenges we may feel we're not ready to face. But it doesn't mean we won't be ready or even eager to face those challenges at a later time. But all through your life, the music has been your passion, your joy. It has been your heart and soul. So don't let anything ever take that from you.
Thank you, Father. Mother.
Now, your audience awaits. Go out there and show them all of that passion and joy.
Thank you, all of you, for being here tonight to share with me in our greatest art, our greatest gift. Yes, it is about the music, as it should be. The music that filled me since I was a child. The music that called to me in my dreams. The music that sprung fully formed within my mind. The music that poured effortlessly from my touch. And it was so much more than just my passion and joy. It held my sorrows, my heartbreaks. It held my dreams and hopes. It held my greatest fears and my greatest aspirations. It carried within its strains the entirety of my life and all that I would ever be. At times like this, it often became difficult to tell where I ended and the music began. I could feel my very soul reaching out, carried aloft by every chord, every beat. And when performing for an audience, I could see every emotion I put into the music as it spread upon their faces. For me, it was not as if they merely listened to what I played. Instead, it was as if we shared all that we were together in those moments. A truly humbling and sacred gift. This was the music I played as a true master. Not as one who had learned the great art, but as one who embodied it. Dreams of power or glory, and would not now. I would have only that which I truly desired. The music. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Joel, that was magnificent. Your entire performance was perfection.
I agree with your mother. I know I may be biased, but I believe that was the single greatest performance I have ever heard in my entire life.
Thank you both for being here tonight, for supporting me my entire life. I wouldn't be the man I am today without your love and support.
My son, you have been our greatest blessing in life, our greatest joy.
You made it easy to believe in you, because you've always shown great potential. As you do still. And while I think you could more than fulfill Chancellor Kikani's expectations, I want most of all for you to pursue and live your passion and your dreams.
Thank you, Father. I will. I've decided tonight, while playing, that this is what I want most in life. To share the great art, the great gift with as many as I can, all over our world. And if my genetic gift of music can be shared with new generations, that's fine. Then all our children and grandchildren can be masters of this world.
That sounds wonderful. Let's go out to dinner and celebrate you finding your calling.
Forgive me, Mother. I know we had planned to go eat together, but I feel the need to walk, to have time to think and reflect on the decisions I've made, and how to tell the Chancellors my intentions.
Oh, Joel, but
We understand perfectly. This is your night. You have much to think about, much to process. So take your time, son. We will see you at home later.
I do have a great deal to think about, and I want to be sure of my words before I speak to the Chancellors again. I know through our music we have learned to manipulate the plants of this world into any form we need. From huge, sprawling forests of hollow trees to form our cities, to giant seed podflies we can direct as they float through the air. From simpler things like bioluminescent plants to light our streets and homes, and tiered gardens to supply all our food. We can even use them to generate medicines for all our ills, and the very fabrics of our clothes. Our lives literally begin and end in the great creche. From there we are born, and it is there our bodies are returned upon death. They are even part of us, as we have long since added plant DNA into our genetic matrices, making us stronger and healthier, virtually wiping out disease, as well as giving all our people various shades of green-colored skin. And with my gift, I am truly master of the plants of this world. I can play any music I've ever seen, even for the briefest moment. I can craft original pieces on a whim. I can sense within me the music needed to shape the plants of this world into any form I wish. Others must study a lifetime to master a single set of music for a specific discipline. Some can only master a very limited range of manipulation skills within that discipline. But not I. I can match the greatest masters of every discipline within hours. I suppose that is power in our world, where our skill with music determines our place in our society. I am not bound by the limitations of others. But does that truly make me master of our world? Does it mean I must rule our people? I must give my life to that rule? To that power? No. It doesn't. Let others worry about such things as power and glory, to be masters of the world. I want nothing to do with it. What is this strange music I now hear? Not my own. Something unlike anything even I have ever imagined. It is a haunting tune, a soulful melody that calls to me, and I must follow. It leads back into the growth surrounding the city, and what is this? What is this place? A spiral path of roots descending a tunnel leading into the deepest of caverns. I've never seen anything like this before. Is anyone down here? cannot believe what I see. A vast cavern unfolds filled with growth, clouds of pollen floating through the air, and at one end, stretching hundreds of feet high and across, a great subterranean mass of roots and vines that have somehow taken the form of a skullish face. Its deep eye cavities glow with horrible greenish lights that seem to move. No, they do move. They are eyes that now center on me. Who are... What are you? I've heard that name, but I can't remember.
The name I have taken from the myths of ancient Earth. The name of the great world tree, which stretched through the cosmos. I felt it fitting, for it is my seed and limb that covers all this world in the green.
But there are numerous species that...
One source, eons ago, the plant-life of this world all grew interconnected. Roots and limbs interwoven until they merged, and all became one living organism. Then, within that single organism, consciousness dawned, and I awoke.
That seems impossible, and yet, here you are. A miracle of life.
Yes. A single life that reached from the depths of this world's oceans to its tallest mountains, that filled its jungles and forests, swept across its plains, and wove even deep into its depths.
Why have you never spoken to our people before? Why have you hidden away?
For eons I was master of this world, having cleansed it of the savage life of blood and bone. Once home, I rose up, overpowering the natural habitats of all creatures, from the tiniest insects to the mightiest leviathans. I flooded poison into the plants they ate for food, destroyed their nests and their young, strangled others in their sleep. It took less than a single turnabout our sun for me to drive all to extinction. I no longer have need of them.
And then came the ancients, humans, colonists from Earth.
At first there were few. The crew of a lone scout ship sent out into the depths of space to find new homes for humans once the Earth was lost to them. I was curious, but felt they posed no threat. And they played the music. I had never heard anything like it. It drew me to them. At first I tried to communicate with them by moving, changing, altering my many forms to the different tunes to show them I understood the beauty of their music.
But they never realized you were intelligent, that you were communicating with them. They just thought the music gave them control over plants.
Then came the others.
The actual colony ships.
Filled with thousands of your kind. They poured out onto my world, claiming it as their own. In their arrogance, never even considering there might be intelligence already on this world. Life of its own that had been here since before their kind walked upright.
And why did you not destroy them as you had other life on this world?
At first, it was because of the music alone. But I realized these creatures were far more advanced than any other life I had known. I realized there was much I could learn from them. So I simply responded to their music, shaping my limbs and roots to the myriad shapes they tried to muster from their harmonies. In doing so, I learned your side. and the very building blocks of your anatomy. And in your arrogance and ignorance, you rooted your entire lives in my care. All that I might one day create you, my chosen one.
Chosen one? What do you mean? What do you want from me? Wait, I can't move. What have you done? What have you done? I can't speak.
Yes. My pollen has now paralyzed you so that you cannot speak or flee. Even as my tendrils now ply your body, beginning to wind their way into your flesh. You are not alone. Even now throughout your cities, it has begun. I once more take back my world, and through my many limbs, I can hear the spread of terror as millions of voices cry out.
Oh my god! The walls! They're closing in on us! Nowhere to go!
Your kind have lived and slept within my embrace for millennia, never wanting or afraid. In your hubris, never suspecting my own intelligence and cunning. But your kind intrigued me, especially with your music, for I have never known such beauty and sound.
Run! The plants! They're killing everyone! Oh my god!
So I hunted the seed, an idea to breed your kind within my care, to engineer your children through my pods of the great crash. And in doing so, to one day breed one who did not require free will or the drive, intellect, or skill to master the great art. You are that one. I take your genetic gifts and seed them into every womb. While stripping every fetus of their will and intellect, their higher cognition, leaving them only their basic instinct and intuitive talents, so that they may be mindless slaves who will play the music for me forever.
This was an Evcall Entertainment Clockwork Digital Studios original production, a part of the On Another Wavelength audio anthology series. Featuring the voice talents of Samantha Boffin, Leonora Haig, Rory Hobson, Will Harrison Wallace, Mitch Howell, and Chris Machari. Written by C. Edward Selner. Directed and produced by Simon James Collier. Series created and co-produced by Adam Deschanel. Music composed by Joel Brandon. Soundscape design, Zachary Elliott Hatton.
EVCOL.
The Choice by C. Edward Selner.
New York City. The city that never sleeps. Some call it the greatest city in the world. But from what I've seen, my guess is that's a load of crap. I mean, sure, it's got its high marks. The Empire State Building, Radio City Music Hall, Times Square, Broadway, Central Park, Ellis Island, all the museums. All the good stuff that lures in the looky-loos. But that's on the surface. That's the part of NYC everyone wants to believe in. Everyone wants it to be the bastion of freedom and democracy, the seat of unlimited wealth and power, the cultural center for the arts, the place where anyone can live their dreams. I don't know, maybe it really is all those things. But I find, like with most people, if you scratch just below the finely tailored surface, you're gonna find a festering sore full of pus. There's a reason all those great see-the-city spots are way up high in the sky. The city always looks clean and nice from up there. That's my job, by the way, to scratch below the surface, to dig deeper and clean out the pus. I'm a cop, NYPD. Over 20 years on the force, and what have I got to show for it? A rundown apartment in the bad part of town. A freaking ulcer that has me drinking Pepto-Bismol and whiskey chasers every night, and dinner out of a bag at 1 a.m. Oh, and enough stories about the worst humanity has to offer to make the tough-as-nails crowd curl up in a ball crying for their mommy. But it wasn't always like this. I joined the force after 9/11. I was just finishing college, not sure what I wanted to do, and then the two towers fell. I went the next day and applied to the academy, like a lot of others. Cops then were heroes, and everyone loved them. And all it took was 70-some of them to die in this city's darkest day. But for me, it wasn't about being a hero. It was about helping people. Making the world a better place. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to make the world a better place.
Morning, Jake.
Morning. How's business?
Doing well. Thanks for all you and yours do for the city.
By the time I made Beat Cop, folks were still thanking every Joe Schmo in uniform. People were glad to see us, and we walked proud down the streets, doing our best to be a visible and assuring presence.
Officer Corrigan, guess what I'm gonna be for Halloween?
I don't know. You tell me.
I'm gonna be a police officer.
That's great, kid. Knowing you're coming up in the ranks, I can retire knowing things will be in good hands in a few years. I made sure everyone on my beat knew my name. I walked it more than drove, even when it was frowned on. I stopped in places to greet folks. I always got my morning coffee and lunch in different spots on a rotation, so I got to know the owners and employees, as well as their regulars. I spent some of my time off volunteering at a local youth center, talking to at-risk kids that found it a safe place to be. I made sure they felt safe with me, could talk to me if they were in trouble.
Jake, it's Juanita. She looks pretty scared, roughed up. She's in the office, said she'll only talk to you about it.
I knew that kid she'd been dating was bad news. Tried to warn her. He's already got a juvie rap sheet for violent assault. All right, I got this. To me, all that was what being a cop was all about. That badge meant something. Not just to me, but to a lot of guys on the force. Also to a lot of the people in the streets. At least it did to the people on my watch. Sure, there were a few bad apples, but by and large, we were the good guys. I don't know. At least it seemed that way to me. But I was just a naive little snot. Right up to that day. What the? Why'd you shoot him? He had his hands up. He was surrendering.
He was a thug. Resisting arrest. I felt threatened. I mean, look at him. He's one of them anyways. No great loss.
What's that supposed to mean?
You know exactly what I mean. Besides, I thought he had a gun.
That was a phone!
Look, Corrigan, it's about time you learn how this really works. If we're partners, you have my back. I have yours. We clean some of these people off the streets, all the better. All you gotta do is back up my story and we're gold. Wait, what are you doing, Corrigan? Stop pointing that thing at me.
Drop your weapon. I'm placing you under arrest.
You gotta be kidding me, kid. Do you know the crap you will bring down on you?
Drop it. Now.
You're making a big mistake, kid.
In the grand scheme of things, it certainly feels that way at times. I was suspended for 6 months without pay on some trumped-up bull. My former partner got a slap on the wrist, but no charges. And when they finally brought me back, well, it was clear I was the station pariah. They've been trying to make me quit every day since. At first, I was given desk duty, but eventually started getting solo gigs, like School Cop, Dare Cop. I applied for a transfer, but was refused. It took me 3 times as long as it should have for me to finally make detective. And that was only after I got a spotlight in the press for saving an undercover cop from a major drug deal gone wrong. The mayor insisted I get the gold shield then. My captain hated that, but he did it anyway. But then stuck me on Vice and made sure I caught all the worst cases. Ditto when I made homicide. My life feels like the butt end of a bad joke sometimes.
Hey, Corrigan. Feeling lonely tonight?
You ask me that every night, and you always get the same answer, Rosie.
A girl can always hope, can't she?
Sure, Rosie, you can always hope. I guess that's all that keeps us going.
Another late night, Corrigan?
Ain't they all? Here's a $5, Ed. That's all I got on me tonight. That and your tuna sub.
I can always count on you for a friendly chat and a little something. You're a good man there, Jake.
Don't know about all that, old-timer. Still wish you'd let me hook you up at a shelter.
Oh, ain't my style.
No! Let me go!
Jesus!
What the hell?
Did you see that, Corrigan? I swear somebody just lifted her right off the ground and pulled her back into that alley.
Go. Find a cop. Or call 911 at the corner.
What about you?
I'm going after her.
Oh, get off me! What are you?
Hey, dirtbag. NYPD. Drop the girl. Holy shit! I can't believe what I'm seeing. This guy is crouching on the handrail of a fire escape, 30 feet up, like Spider-Man or something, holding Rosie like a rag doll in one hand. And there's so much blood. And his face, it ain't human.
Welcome, Jake Corrigan, and congratulations. You are my choice.
Things like him aren't supposed to exist. Stay back! His speed, those goddamn teeth, his inhuman strength. He's twisting me up and holding me like I'm some kid, pulling my head back and exposing my neck. Holy... Not what I intended when I stopped for a bite.
All this blood over me. Shouldn't I be dead?
No, Jake Corrigan. As I said, you are my choice.
So what? My blood is finger-licking good? Hell, you're a real vampire, aren't you? You look human now, but before, like some nightmare with fangs and red eyes.
Oh, come, my dear boy. Everyone knows vampires are mere myth. But, like most myth, they have a basis in fact. My kind are that fact.
And just what fact are they?
Long ago, creatures, what you might call demons, oft chose to walk the earth. To taste its delights, as it were. Oh, they found you humans so intriguing. Their dalliances, shall we say, often bore fruit. Now, their progeny looked mortal, but their mothers most often knew their true origins. The horrible things that came out of the dark to have their way. The horrors they still saw in their nightmares every night. Few took their children from such unions, but there were always others. Others who gave what was needed.
Demon babies? Seriously?
Indeed. They were the first of the Shedhin. My people. My kind. We are many clans, each of which can trace our origin back to a single demonic sire. One whose nature defined our own, whose gifts were passed down, but often with a curse, a binding that reminds us of our dark origins and fate. My clan are called many things, among them the vampire. And yes, we are indeed what you might call vampires.
Sounds like it sucks to be you.
Oh, perhaps, though not all the stories are true, but... You're feeling it now, aren't you?
What are you doing? Feels like you're in my head.
Yes, that's the bonding between us, linking our minds, our very life essence. I can understand you so much better now. Even from a distance, I could sense your strength, your stubbornness, your driving will to survive, all of which made you the perfect choice. But now I see far more. I see the young idealist you used to be, the scarred and bitter man you've become. How much it sucks to be you.
You son of a... Get out of my head, you mother...
Now you're beginning to feel the bloodlust that my clan must live with. The hunger that gnaws at us. But fear not, Jake Corrigan. You need not drink the blood of others to survive. What you feel is the echo of my own hunger, just as I now feel the urgings of your mortal mind. The prostitute, you cared for her, despite barely knowing her.
We worked the same streets. I saw her every day. Tried so many times to get her to change careers, but she was too proud, so I kept my eye out for her. What of it, bloodsucker?
Ah, there's that stubborn defiance I so treasure from my chosen. And that human conflict I find so intriguing in your kind. The same internal conflict that plagues so many of our younger generations, where the blood is diluted by long lines of human ancestry. Disgusting.
What the heck are you talking about?
Oh, come now, Jacob. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Take you as an example. Once you held such high ideals, such naive views of the world. You believed one man could make a difference in the world, didn't you? You've tried desperately to cling to that belief, despite your life becoming ever deeper mired in the muck and filth of humanity. Your kind prey upon one another in so many ways. So much of it you and all your kind are so willing to overlook when it's far away, or to people different than you. But let it be in your city, and you decide to change your entire life in response. Really? How many massacres? How many slaughters happened in your lifetime that warranted nothing from you?
There are limits to what one person can do. Yeah, sure, there were plenty of times I saw ugly crap on the news. What could I do about stuff happening on the other side of the world?
Even when it was your own people doing the harm.
What do you mean?
You chose to wear a badge, to become part of the system. A system and a country who has practiced its own atrocities throughout the world. What do you say to those, oh noble man?
Those are different? No. Not going to cover it over. No, you're right. We've screwed up a lot. But I still believe the best way to change the system is from within. That's what I've always tried to do. I can't believe I am sitting in a pool of my own blood, arguing politics with a vampire.
Oh, that may be what you believed a long time ago, but we both know otherwise now, don't we? I can sense it in you. Your disillusionment with your so-called police, your government, your country.
Shut up!
You've watched everything you believed in torn away like blinders from your eyes. You've watched a country you once believed be the greatest in the world sink into a demoralizing failed experiment. I can feel your disgust over the hatred and bigotry now spoken openly from the highest offices. The lies that are used to lead so many of you, like sheep, right to the slaughter. The lost, the broken, ones who've already given up their hopes for a better life, and now just do their best to survive, much like you.
You don't know me, you freak!
Oh, but I do, Jacob. Now, perhaps better than you know yourself. Your darkness, your anger, your bitterness, your conscience. It is a dying light, Jacob, and now that we are bound, it will soon be snuffed out.
What is this bond you keep talking about? Me being your chosen? What the hell are you rambling about?
I am one of the oldest of my kind, one of the most powerful of my clan, a near pure blood, untainted by so many human ancestors. I am not bothered with such a small thing as a conscience. I have no human urgings or desires to fit in or to belong. No, I see your kind as what they truly are. Breeding stock and food.
Okay, so you're a right proper asshole. What has that got to do with me?
My curse. My life force is tied to a circle of chosen mortals I must infect with the blood. But, leave alive. You do not become vampire. You gain none of the powers of my kind. But you are given the gift of natural immortality.
You mean I can't die?
Oh, you can die, my dear boy. Just not from age or natural causes. You will never grow old, never grow sick and weak. But, as my dear Marcus learned, you can still be killed with sufficient force.
So, what? You needed me to replace Marcus in your little kumbaya circle. Why? What is it we chosen do for you?
We are all bound in our life force. I draw life from you and the others. You draw life from me. If one is lost, I grow weakened until he or she is replaced. But the true beauty of my curse is that I cannot be harmed by any force as long as my circle is whole. I am untouchable by human cattle. Even my own kind would be unable to kill me.
That don't sound much like a curse for us, or you.
My dear Jake Corrigan, there is one little catch. Just as if one of you is killed, I weaken. Were all of you to die, I would perish. And you'll enjoy this bitter irony, which I'm sure you're sensing even now. I am vulnerable only to my chosen, but to kill me, well, you would be killing yourself. Damning your soul for all eternity.
How many have you killed? How many people?
Oh, thousands, easily. I never really bothered to count, but that is something I do so enjoy. And you, through our bond, will feel their deaths, hear their screams, feel their lives snuffed like the flames of a candle.
You know that glimmer of conscience you talked about? Those ideals you claim I've lost? The reason I first put on a badge. Maybe they ain't as gone as you think.
What you doing, Corrigan? You know the price of this threat.
One man's soul, a handful of lives, to stop something like you? That's my choice. Hell, at this point, I'd pull the trigger just to shut you up.
This was an Epcol Entertainment Clockwork Digital Studios original production, a part of the On Another Wavelength audio anthology series, featuring the voice talents of Leonora Haig, Will Harrison Wallace, Mitch Howell, and Chris Machari. Written by C. Edward Selner, directed and produced by Simon James Collier, series created and co-produced by Adam Deschanel. Soundscape design, Zachary Elliott Hatton.